The acquisition learning hypothesis. Krashen makes an important distinction between two ways of getting a new language. First is acquisition, where we acquire a new language subconsciously as we receive messages we understand. With acquisition, we focus on using the language for real purposes. In contrast to acquisition is learning. Learning is a conscious process in which we focus on various aspects of language itself. Learning is associated with classroom instruction and is usually tested. It is less common in the world beyond the classroom. There is an important social element into the distinction between acquisition and learning. Acquisition occurs in social contexts as people communicate with others. As Guy stated, we are better at performing what we acquire, but we consciously know more about what we have learned. Acquisition allows us to speak and understand, read and write the language. Learning allows us to talk about or pass exams on the language. Both children and adults have the capacity to acquire additional languages because they possess a language acquisition device, a LAD. The difference between the effects of acquisition and learning is most evident in the case of second or foreign language learning. Let's look at Stan. With 5 years of studying German, 3 years in high school and 2 in college, Stan was able to read signs and articles when he was stationed in Germany, but he had trouble communicating with native Germans. However, when Stan moved to Mexico for a new job, he took a crash course in Spanish, and after only 6 months of communicating with coworkers and businessmen, Stan's Spanish was better than his German had ever been. Here, Stan only learned German, which wasn't helpful, but he learned and acquired Spanish through his studies and daily interactions in Mexico. As a result, Stan's ability to understand and speak Spanish was more proficient than his German. As educators of ELL students, teachers need to help them develop their language acquisition devices through authentic classroom experiences that are designed and personally contextualized in social curriculums that enable them to acquire the language as they use the language.